everybody coming tonight. Let's call the meeting to order and ask for a roll call.
Blunier.
Here.
Hilliard.
Here.
Leach.
Here.
Mennel. Here. Newman.
Here.
Parrott.
Here.
We have a quorum.
If you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There is no public hearings or presentations or special reports tonight. Is there anybody that would like to make a public comment?
Greetings, Mayor and Village Trustees and staff. Leanne Brown with the Morton Chamber of Commerce and Economic Development Council. We are upon a busy week for our community. We have our forecast breakfast this Wednesday. Have a great attendance for that out at Comfort Inn and Suites with TCRC providing breakfast. And then this Friday is our community cleanup. So we have several businesses signed up to get teams out and about at various locations. And citizens have pre-registered, but you can still show up at the library from 3 to 4 and join us last minute and get out and about around our community to help clean up. Certainly, especially with this wind, lots of debris and trash around to pick up. So we look forward to hosting that on Friday. And then also Friday evening kicks off our Fourth Friday season. April through August, fourth Friday of each month. Downtown Morton will be happening with different experiences, artists, musicians, businesses open, and a lot of family activities at Memorial Plaza. So join us on Friday for community cleanup and Fourth Fridays, and I know we'll see many of you at Forecast Breakfast this Wednesday. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? If not, the consent agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes, the regular meeting of April 4th, 2022, the closed session of April 4th, 2022, and the approval of the bills, if we could have a motion.
Move to approve. Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Blunier.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrott.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Tonight, I have 2 or 3 items. The first is the July 3rd fireworks. I believe with everything going on this week, I forgot to ask Joel to come. I think the price has increased about $5,000 for fireworks, like everything. So I think our half of it is $12,500. So where we usually have 10, it's now $12,500, I believe. So I would say not to exceed $12,500, and I'll verify that with the Park District. If we could have a motion for that.
So moved. Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrott.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Also tonight, I'd like to make the appointment of Mike Worm and Jack Bartholomew to the Zoning Board of Appeals, and their terms will expire 4/30/2027.
Motion to approve.
Second.
And I want to thank them for willing to serve. It's quite the commitment, just like all these boards are, so appreciate that. So if we could call the roll.
Parrott.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Motion carries.
On my final item, I'd like to make the appointment of Kara Knepp and Nathan Gale to the Planning Commission for a term that would expire 4/30/2027. Could I have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
Call the roll.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrott.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Village Clerk.
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Village Administrator.
I have one item tonight, Your Honor. I am presenting the fiscal year 2023 budget for approval. If I could have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any questions? You have any comments, Julie?
Just basically, last meeting we reviewed the preliminary. There was a deficit of about $7.2 million overall. There have been a few changes, so that deficit's down to about 6.7 million. The major part of that is a reduction in the capital expenditures under the motor fuel fund. Otherwise, there's not any changes to the budget than what was in the preliminary.
Any comments? Call the roll.
Leach.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Chief of Police
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
and Corporation Counsel.
I have one matter tonight, Your Honor. That's a resolution authorizing a development agreement between the Village of Morton and Ryan Companies U.S. Incorporated and Precision Planning LLC for 85 acres off of Erie Avenue. I'd be glad to explain if Your Honor wants me to do so before motion second, or if you
Why don't we
want.
make a motion in a second?
So moved.
Second.
Counsel, if you'd explain.
Development agreement, which is before you in hard copy this evening, represents a culmination of a substantial amount of effort between the affected stakeholders. This involves the development of a 510,000 approximately square foot facility, which Precision Planning had publicly announced in the weeks leading up to tonight's meeting. To get to that point of the announcement, substantial work was made between administrative staff and those involved in the development to put together the details in the development agreement you have before you. Development agreement would involve a commitment from Precision Planning if they acquire title to the property to build that facility, as well as some public improvements that are necessary based on the property at issue. That includes construction of a cul-de-sac at the end of Erie Avenue, the construction of approximately 1,300 linear feet of street along the south side of near the south side of their property, which will be called Agriculture Drive, and a construction of a portion of Flint Avenue, which would be extended northerly. As a part of this agreement, Precision Planning would be given tax abatements in accordance with general terms that have been set in a prior intergovernmental agreement between the stakeholders and overlapping taxing bodies under those normal terms and conditions as we've done in the past. The village under this agreement is committing to some intersection improvements at the intersection of Erie Avenue and Birchwood, to the extension of a water main to provide additional water flow along the north end of Erie Avenue, and to the extension and improvement of Flint Street from Route 98 to interconnect with the portion of Flint Street that Precision Planning will construct. So those are the significant terms of the development agreement. I'd be glad to answer any questions on those or offer if Craig has anything to supplement in terms of the public works side. I know he has some agenda items tonight, so he'll be getting to that, but glad to answer questions.
Any questions? If not, call the roll.
Parrot.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Motion carries.
If I may briefly, Your Honor, one additional item just for procedural clarification. This agreement does require the approval of the other overlapping taxing bodies. So this matter will be going before the library and the township and the road district and the park district and school and ICC. And so this will be a matter that will continue through processes until we reach the last board approval of an overlapping taxing body in the coming weeks.
All right, thank you. And to the citizens, this is a very big deal. It's going to be a 45-foot tall building, and so a large warehouse. So I have Keith Crow here with Precision Planning, and I'd like to introduce him and let him have a few words. And welcome him to Morton. Thank you, Keith. Thanks for coming. So, I'll let you have the microphone.
Good evening. Appreciate the consideration for this project. As Attorney Pat has stated, a lot of work's gone into this. It's something that Precision Planning started talking about probably about a couple of years ago now, as far as what our future of our operations look like. Today we have warehouse space in Morton, Illinois that we are leasing. This certainly will be a monumental task for us to really implant our future here in Morton, Illinois, as we look at building out this building, as well as, there are 85 acres, and so we did provide ourselves ability to continue to expand upon the building that we are proposing for future growth of the business. Our desire is to be an employer of choice in the greater Peoria area, And we're excited that we'd be able to keep our employees in Morton, Illinois, and continue to build upon our relationship there. And so this is monumental for our company. And I think as we've shared plans with the village over the last 6 months, I think it's something that you guys would be very proud of as well. So I appreciate the opportunity and appreciate the consideration. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So I really think it's the biggest thing since Caterpillar came to town. It's going to be a 45-foot building. I think it's going to be a billboard in Morton along the expressways. And in that agreement, the village, we also put in the 10 acres they have for offices and other buildings. We put that in the tax abatement. And we're hoping and encouraging that they build it sooner than 10 years. So by having that in there, we're hoping everything goes their way and doing that. So, and that, I'd like to thank Precision for considering Morton, Illinois. And when we come back after the taxing body's approved it, we plan on having another meeting here with Precision and having it on the screen, what these buildings are gonna look like. So, all righty. Director of Fire and Emergency Services isn't here. Director of Public Works.
Yes, several items tonight, Your Honor. First, and not related to precision planning, the remainder are related to precision planning, but the first one is item A. I'd like to ask for acceptance of bid for the Main Street Lighting Project in the amount of $268,907.50 and award of the contract for same to Laser Electric Incorporated.
So moved. Second.
Any comments on that?
We've discussed this. I mean, this is the lighting from I-74 to Cortland that's been discussed, and utilizing business district funds, which are budgeted. We did have 2 bidders on this. Oberlander came in. Oberlander Electric came in at 3.8% higher, so I think the bid is fairly good due to the tightness of those 2 bids. So that's all I have, unless you guys have any questions. It may take a little time, obviously with supply chain, stuff like that, but I think they'll get started fairly soon with the underground and the foundations.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Blunier,
Yes.
Hilliard,
Yes.
Leach,
Yes.
Mennel,
Yes.
Newman,
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Yeah, as I said, these 3 are related to precision planning. Obviously, there's been a considerable amount of work with precision planting and Ryan Companies, and on a project this size requires a partnership between Public Works and them. And these are 3 big ones that we need to take care of on our end as part of our commitment. So item B, I'd like to ask for acceptance of proposal from Crawford, Murphy and Tilley Incorporated for the design of the Erie Court Water Main Extension Project on a time and expense basis to a not to exceed amount of $43,500.
So moved.
Second.
And just real quick, this would be to put a brand new water line from Detroit to Erie under the interstate. At this time, approximate size about 16-inch. Is a large project. And then I also want to add too that we passed the budget tonight. None of this was included in the budget, so these are things as we work forward towards appropriations that we'll include for approval also.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Mennel,
Yes.
Newman,
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Leach,
Yes.
Hilliard,
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next is item C. I'd like to ask for acceptance of proposal from Hanson Professional Services Incorporated for the design of the Erie Avenue and Birchwood Street roadway improvements on a time and expense basis to a not to exceed amount of $71,000.
Do you have a motion?
Move to approve. Second.
Again, this was a commitment. Actually, they're paying for a large portion of the intersections, but we're going to bid them out, and then over a certain amount, $570,000, we'll pay for the remainder of that. So this would be the design of those improvements that'll start effective probably tomorrow, because we got a lot of work to do in a short amount of time.
Is it normal to accept a bid like that in a T&E format?
Pretty much, we pretty much do everything not to exceed with these consultants. I just worded that, like,
Okay.
any of these consultants now, we're just, we're keeping tabs on it and they're billing as they go. So really, essentially, that just means if we come in under that, that's what it's gonna be, but there's the cap on the top, if that makes sense.
Does. Sounds
In
like
typical case, I probably wouldn't have put that in there, but I like to be honest with you guys that if it comes in under, it'll come in under.
All right, any questions? Call the roll.
Parrot.
Yes.
Blunier.
yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Menold.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And lastly, item D, I'd like to ask for acceptance of proposal from Midwest Engineering Associates Incorporated for the Flint Avenue roadway improvements on a time and expense basis to a not to exceed amount of $132,500.
Motion to approve.
Second.
This is probably the largest commitment financially and time-wise for the village. This would be the extension of Flint. Precision will be paying for a portion and building a portion of that south of what will be Agricultural Drive, and then we will finish that off to Birchwood. So this does include, I included one proposal. It involves hydraulics, hydrology, some of those studies all the way to Roth Road, so that we can plan not only for Flint, but also plan for the future. So a lot of those things will come to play here now that we've reached this far west side to look at things, water, sewer, as we eventually develop west now.
All right, any questions?
Question, do you anticipate a signalized intersection at Flint?
At this point, we do not anticipate a signalized intersection at Flint. With that, that is included in the
Right.
study of Hanson's work. I don't anticipate it at this time.
Right. And approximate construction cost?
Flint Avenue?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Flint Avenue, I'm estimating it at, about $1,000 a foot, 2,300 foot, so $2.3 million.
Right.
And the time frame's about 24 months for that. So that would be the last thing to finalize. They'll probably be in first, and then that'll be the last piece that we would eventually connect to. And Flint will provide a lot of benefits. I know that we mentioned the water line here. While it benefits them directly and hopefully can save them money on other things too, in terms of fire protection, it will provide another, an additional benefit to the businesses over there also. Sand Ridge, I believe that's what they're called still. MapCore, some of those businesses that utilize a lot of our water. This will be a tremendous improvement to them, especially when it comes to fire protection. And the fire chief's not here tonight, but he would be very happy with what we're doing there.
No pun intended, but this project will pave the way to a lot of future development to the west, especially looking at the drainage out there.
Yeah,
If we can
there's
get
a-
our handle and our heads around the drainage out there,
Yeah.
this will be major for future development.
There's a lot of acres between Flint and Roth Road.
And the significance, I've been here for about 11 years. I haven't put in one lineal foot of concrete commercial pavement. So now with what they're going to put in and what we put in, we're approaching a mile on one project. So the size and significance of this project is very big. When you look at their plans, it's still hard to even understand how big this is, but we're talking over 500,000 square foot first phase and potentially expandable to 1 million square foot. So it's a significant development.
And this will provide a second entrance, and it's needed for that volume of building being built. And that's why we recommended Flint now. I think the future boards, future mayors, all that expansion will be out there with the EDC and that.
And their designs, we're approaching probably completion on their stuff. I know I have another meeting tomorrow with their design team, but very far along on the design, so.
You anticipate the impact of funding this will basically just put us a year behind on some of our other
Yeah, and we discussed
major
that.
capital.
Yeah, I would anticipate a similar
projects, road
overlay
projects.
miscellaneous type job next year. But, when we looked at budget this year, and I know I had discussions with you and the mayor and some others, we'll definitely have to look at that and prioritize some of that.
But we plan on having it paid for.
Yeah.
No borrowed funds.
No, don't want to do that.
So, also I'd like to, I didn't compliment Precision earlier, but Keith Crow, his staff, Ryan Companies, Kyle, they've been true gentlemen to work with, honorable people, and it's been a very fair and honest negotiations. We finished them this afternoon, and so we not only welcome them to Morton, but the entire business here. So we got a good one, and I think they're going to be happy when we're done with the Flint Street addition. I think it makes it a total success, especially for Morton buildings out there and different companies, that they can all continue as they are now. So I want to thank you for that, Keith.
I'm Ken Getz, one of the owners of the property being sold. When we built Erie Street, we furnished half the land, and Morton Buildings furnished half the land. Now, when you build Flint Street, all the 100% of the land will be on this property. How are you going to get the property to the west of Flint to pay for that part of their, half of that street that's being put in that will benefit them eventually?
The legal counsel has guaranteed me that nobody's getting a free ride. Everybody will pay. So that'll be taken care of in the legal documents. We've already thought through all that. There will be no free rides for anybody. Anybody coming will pay for their access to the utilities and the road.
Flint Street.
Yep. Okay, so we have to vote. Did we vote on Midwest? No. All right, let's call the roll. A lot going on tonight.
Newman.
Yes.
Sorry. Parrot.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And a lot of money. The citizens of Morton spent $247,000 tonight bringing precision planning to Morton. So thank you, gentlemen. I think it'll pay dividends over the years. Unbelievable. All right, is that all you have, Craig?
That's all I have tonight, Your Honor.
You've been spending a lot lately at our meetings.
I'll slow down now. I got work to do now.
We did buy remote, gotta remind you, we did buy remote control mower. Zoning and Code Enforcement Officer, Brad?
I have several items tonight, Your Honor. The first item is a combination of A and B in your packet. It's an ordinance amending designating area as an enterprise zone and related matters under Section 5 of the Enterprise Zone Act.
If we could have a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
You want to explain, Brad?
So we are a member of the Southern Tazewell Enterprise Zone, and Pekin is part of that. Pekin is proposing an amendment to the agreement that changes a few items. Matt Fick is here tonight as a representative of the city of Pekin, and Matt would like to speak a little bit and answer any questions for you.
Thanks, Brad. Excuse me. First of all, congratulations on precision and that deal. I do economic development for Pekin, and I know how difficult it can be, and that's a phenomenal win for the village, so kudos to you. When you set the enterprise zone up, it's a bit of a guessing game. In 2015, I don't think people knew where development was going to grow and which direction it was going to end up. So in Pekin, there's some parcels that are not in the enterprise zone that developers have said if we could get that, that might be the tipping point to bridge the financial gap for us. So we reworked the boundaries a little bit to kind of take out, I think the federal prison was in the enterprise zone, take that out, add some undeveloped parcels that have some interest in it. The total square mileage is 15 for the whole enterprise zone. So Morton, Tremont, their acreage doesn't change. The city of Pekin's does. Actually, ours will go down a little bit, but it just puts it in more desirable areas for development. And the other change is, I think all the partners in the enterprise zone charge 0.5% of the building materials cost as a fee. Pekin wants to eliminate that and go to just straight building permit fees, which is, I think, more lucrative, to be honest. It's a lot of the city's going to be in the enterprise zone, so if they don't do that, they feel like they'd be missing out on a lot of money. So I think the city manager is in Tremont tonight making the same request, and if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Just supplementing what Matt said, all the changes are specific to the city of Pekin. So while they do require your consent, they don't change your fee structure or anything else like that.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Any questions? If not, call the roll.
Blunier.
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Leach.
Yes.
Mennel.
Yes.
Newman.
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Motion carries.
I might add, I left a pen at everybody's desk for precision planning. Your secretary, Keith, said I could have them, so.
Where's money into the budget?
Go ahead, Brad. Sorry to
So my
interrupt you.
next item is petition number 22-05 SP.
If we could have a motion,
So moved.
Second.
go ahead and
This was a special use request for Precision Planning. They're requesting a building height of 47 feet to not exceed 47 feet in height. This is in I-2, it's in the interstate corridor. The reason it's a special use is because it's in the interstate corridor. So if you have any questions, this came with a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission.
if we could have a motion.
It's
Oh,
on-
that's right. Okay. Well, a lot going on today. Any questions? All right, call the roll.
Blunier,
Yes.
Hilliard,
Yes.
Leach,
Yes.
Mennel,
Yes.
Newman,
Yes.
Parrot.
Yes.
Motion carries.
My final item tonight, Your Honor, is the preliminary and final plat, the Precision Planning subdivision.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Do you explain?
Yeah, so this is the preliminary and final plat that has gone through internally in our office to make sure that it meets all of our requirements. You did receive in your packet, I know, a small version. I do have the full-size versions in the back if anybody would like to look at those.
All right, any questions? Call the roll.
Newman,
Yes.
Hilliard,
Yes.
Parrot,
Yes.
Leach,
Yes.
Mennel,
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Nothing else tonight, Your Honor.
All right. Any trustees have anything tonight? If not, no closed session is needed, so if we could have a motion for adjournment.
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.